Palantir just reported earnings and the stock popped almost 20%. Recently, I put out a video covering the top 10 AI stocks to buy for the next 10 years, and Palantir is on that list. Now, I've been talking about Palantir and AI on this channel for years, even before the company went public. And this earnings report, combined with a shareholder letter from the CEO, really gives us confirmation about Palantir's AI strategy moving forward. Let's dig into it. All right, so huge pop here, up 16.82%, trading at almost $9 per share. So it's really back to the same price when the direct listing came out a couple of years ago. Now, the 52-week low on this was $5.84. The 52-week high, just under $15 at $14.86. And you can see this went public through a direct listing October 2nd, 2020, about $9.20 a share. And this thing rocketed up in January, the end of January 2021, this was $35.18 a share. So it's fallen off a cliff and it's starting to find some footing here. So is Palantir stock a buy now? Of course, if you're bullish on the company, you were probably buying it under $6, but is it a bad buy here under $9? Let's find out. This is massive, guys. Palantir expects 2023 to be its first profitable year. Also sees AI driving growth. And of course, AI, guys, artificial intelligence, it's a big buzzword. And there are some companies out there where the stock's probably being inflated higher than it should, but this is a legit AI company. So I call semiconductors the new oil. A lot of people call data the new oil, and both of them are very important. The thing is, data needs semiconductors. So in my opinion, semiconductors really are the new oil. But this is a data analytics software company. And the backbone of Palantir is really built for artificial intelligence and machine learning. The company's reduced its employees' stock-based compensation and cut back on cloud expenditure in recent months in response to lower spending from recession-wary businesses. They actually sold some of their SPACs. And part of the big bounce here is actually from one of their Japan segments. So Palantir has slowed down hiring to cut expenses, with headcount rising just 3% sequentially in the December quarter compared to 31% for the whole of 2022. Now, what's interesting about this, Palantir stock is popping, and it was a good earnings report, but if you look at the forecast, when you look at guidance, between 2.18 and 2.23 billion, that's below the 2.29 billion estimated. So Palantir, guys, is giving you around 15 to 20% growth. Now, I'm going to look later at price to sales and EVN team revenue, and we're going to talk about valuation and if the stock should be worth more or less than it is trading at today. Company executives said the AI surge sparked by the rise of ChatGPT was proving to be a bright spot that would help its business in 2023, mirroring the remarks that we saw from the big tech firms. And if you watch that top 10 AI stocks for the next 10 years, well, it's covering the big tech firms like the Googles and the Microsofts of the world, but also Palantir when you think of data analytics. So this is the annual letter from the CEO, Alexander Karp. We were profitable for the first time in our company's history last quarter. And you can see net income and loss by quarter. So Q1 2022, we have negative, and now we have positive for the first time. This is $31 million positive. Now, I've covered Palantir on this channel many times. We talk about the importance of the commercial sector. That's really where the growth's going to come. They've been in government, you think of government and federal for many years. Now, if you look at this, you can see this is in millions. 2018, $38 million. They've grown that to $335 million in 2022. This represents a 72% compound annual growth rate. Listen to this. Our collective focus on artificial intelligence, AI, including the natural language processing capabilities that have recently been made more widely available to the public, is not misplaced. The demand from customers for our platforms has in recent months gained additional momentum, in significant part because of the accelerating embrace of artificial intelligence. We anticipate that this new source of demand will contribute to our growth moving forward, above and beyond what they anticipated last year. The widespread adoption of artificial intelligence in civilian applications will come soon. In the military context, it has already arrived. So I'm going to cover some of the earnings highlights here. Then we're going to look at valuation, and I'm going to look at a chart and tell you where I think the stock might go. So they achieved GAAP net income profitability for the first time in company's history. GAAP earnings per share of 1 cent. Revenue is up 18% year over year. So not great, but $509 million in Q4 2022. Government grew 22% to $225 million. Adjusted operating margin of 22%, and 261 closed deals, up 20% year over year from 217 a year ago. Their US business grew 32% to $1.2 billion in FY 2022. Commercial revenue up 67%. Now that's key. Revenue grew 24% year over year to $1.9 billion, and this is for the year. Customer count increased 55% year over year to 367, up from 237 a year ago. 976 deals closed. That's up 61% year over year. So they just did a conference conference, the FoundryCon US 2023, and here's some of the speakers. So you see like Avis and Cisco, Dish, and so on. So this quote's from the George W. Bush Institute. We went from that simple sheet to a comprehensive data analysis with data streams from every state, every hospital, every lab within a matter of weeks. It's very powerful and very scalable. This is from Tampa General Hospital. These analytic applications allow folks to interact with the data, update the data, and then write those changes back to the source systems. And to me, is a real differentiator for Foundry. So Palantir's taken data from all these disparate systems, siloed information, and they're putting in one dashboard that's consumable, and that's very powerful. It allows executives and employees to consume data that's relevant and in real time. Integrity Tool and Mold, listen to this. It's currently the largest investment that we've made outside of physical infrastructure. That's powerful. But in the end, we've always believed that in order to be the best, you have to partner with the best. This is from Southern California Edison. We're moving from hardware defined to software defined, and that means the potential is unlimited. All these things aren't sort of being dreamed up. They're actually happening right now. They also launched some new products. So process mining and automation suite, scheduling, and then Foundry Marketplace Developer Suite. The process mining and automation suite allows customers to mine complex business processes, visualize the process in flowchart type graph, and conduct drill down analyses to find and address inefficiencies. Scheduling Primitives is the newest application. It allows for resource allocation and scheduling that dynamically responds to the reality of changing needs. And lastly, the Foundry Marketplace Developer Suite gives customers the ability to create their own Foundry app stores, where users can both install apps and assets to their Foundry stack, or publish their apps and assets for distribution to other stacks. Okay, let's look at some financials. You can see that 1 cent up 7 cent quarter over quarter and 9 cent year over year. That's a pretty impressive bounce. I mean, you look at this here, negative 9 cents just a year ago. So US business generated revenue of $1.2 billion. You can see that's nice growth as well, 32%. So this is an important one here. US commercial revenue, 67% growth, and then that government revenue growth about 22%. So Palantir is software as a service or SaaS. So some of the metrics we look at are net base dollar retention, 115%, very solid. Not the highest number you're going to see, but a very strong number overall. So they added 30 net new customers in Q4 2022, with total customers up 9% quarter over quarter. Now, similar to Snowflake, it takes a little time to ramp this up. So you get a new customer, it takes some time to build that out. And that's why that net base retention is so important. It's expanding existing customers and footprints. And that does take time, especially when you think of data analytics, it takes time. So commercial customer count, you can see nice growth here to 260. And the average TTM revenue per top 20 customer, that's up 13%. Deals closed up 61% to 976. Billings up 21% to 1.8 billion. So this is for Q4 2022. They closed 55 deals of at least $1 million, 11 of which were at least $5 million, and 5 of which were at least $10 million. So here you can see adjusted gross margin. It's been pretty steady between 80 and 82%, but a nice bounce here from Q3 to Q4 from 80 to 82%. So free cash flow, obviously very important. Plus they have a lot of cash. They have $2.6 billion cash with no debt. So full year guidance for 2023, they expect revenue of $2.18 billion to $2.23 billion, adjusted income from operations between $481 and $531 million. And then for Q1 2023, the first quarter, they expect revenue of $503 to $507 million and adjusted income from operations between $91 and $95 million. So price to sales is about 8.5. Now that's before the 15 to 20% spike after earnings. So it's trading right now roughly around 10 price to sales. At its peak back here in February of 2021, it was trading at 45 price to sales. And the cheapest it really got, December 27th, around 6.7 price to sales. Now, anytime you're talking about SaaS companies, generally you like to look at EV NTM revenue. So I did some quick math. The EV NTM revenue for Palantir is about 8x right now. It's about 7.75x. So next, guys, I'm going to show you a chart and I'm going to tell you where I think the stock might be headed next. Now, before we do that, please subscribe to the channel and click that bell for notifications. I'm trying to get this channel to over 40,000 subscribers in 2023, and you can help me out by subscribing today. I also need to announce that this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. If you'd like to see the 10 best stocks to buy now, visit fool.com/fired up wealth. You can also join us in our private community in Discord by visiting patreon.com/fired up wealth. So the RSI on this was about 51, at least before earnings. So it's probably higher now. Here's a chart. Now, anytime you see orange, that's a previous chart day. We do chart day every single Wednesday in Discord Patreon. So members from the community give me tickers every Wednesday, and we look at QQQ plus 20 individual stocks. If you want to join us there, of course, patreon.com/fired up wealth. So on a previous chart day, I said I really like this below $6, and it was a strong opportunity when it was below $6. So Palantir closed around $8.89 after earnings last night, and that's where my cursor is at on the screen here. So you can see this bounce really nicely off of about $6. It got down to $5.84, and it's bounced really hard off that. It actually got all the way up to $9.18. So these are Fibonacci pivot points. You can see it pull back here to about $7.50, and then it bounced again. So again, it's just under $9 right now after hours. This next R2, this is a Fibonacci R2. This is around $9.27. You'll probably see resistance around $9.75 as well. And then this top R3 here, this is around $10.38. So is Palantir stock a buy now after it's bounced from $6 to $9? Now, if you look at that growth, 15 to 20%, and you look at the price to sales that we talked about, the EV/NTM revenue we talked about, it's not a cheap stock. This is a polarizing company. It's one of those bear bull type stocks. You either love it or you hate it. And I think for good reason too, because it's a very exciting company. They do some really cool stuff, and it's just a fun company to be a part of. Now, Palantir has been around for 20 years, and I feel like a lot of their growth engines are really just starting to bake out. I think AI, they were a little bit ahead of their time maybe, and AI with all the buzz around it, it could certainly accelerate the growth of this company. So I won't be surprised if you see in the next couple earnings reports, if Palantir beats. I'm a bull in this stock. I bought it back at $9 when it first came direct listing, and I have added some shares along the way. It's not a screaming buy necessarily at $9 a share, but do I think it's going to go higher? I think the answer is yes, especially short term. I think traders will probably pile in, and you probably see this thing go a little bit higher. I wouldn't be surprised to see this over $10, maybe even $11 in the next coming weeks. Now, longer term, if you're a long-term investor and you're holding this for 5 or 10 years, I think you could do very well with Palantir stock. I would have preferred you buy the stock under $6, but of course, if you missed the boat there, under $9, it's still not a terrible buy for what you get, but just understand that it is expensive and it could continue to see some volatility. If you like Palantir, I've got lots of videos on the channel about Palantir. Go check out this video right now. This is the top 10 AI stocks for the next 10 years. It gives you a background on AI as well as 10 individual stock picks. This video has gotten around 25,000 views on YouTube already, and the reviews have been very, very positive. So check this one out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, drop a like and comment. I appreciate your time and attention. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.